Heaven's Journey to Life. Consciousness is Autopilot. Day 39. As mentioned in the previous post, we're continuing with the analogy of the plane and the mind and the world system of money in more detail, as the process of walking the soul of fear, and how we, as fear that drives and fuels the plane and mind and consciousness, will deliberately continue with our natures and actions of blame within and as spite, excuse, and justification, to protect and defend our survival and possession as experience of flying high, as positive energy experience. And in and as this fear, deliberately not see the consequences we create as the mind and money to the physical body and this physical existence. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to, from and of my mind consciousness system, relationship to the physical body, manifest, accept, and allow the world system of money relationship to the physical existence, where, as the world system of money, the world system of money as the plane that fly high above, yet within this physical existence, with its conscious mind, pilot, and first class, elite corporations, banks, and industries, with its subconscious, business and lower classes, middles and lower class society, and unconscious mind, the process where money system consume physicality into money, starvation, famine, poverty, deforestation, pollution, fracking, drilling, desertification, where, as with my mind consciousness system, the world system of money relationship to this physical existence had been automated, and the pilots within the first class as the elite of, within, and as the money system, as the conscious mind, see the manifest consequences in its subconscious and unconscious categories and manifestations, see the physical manifested consequences that manifest when they see into this world and earth through the windows and physical eyes. But this seeing is not in and as equality and oneness with the physical body and this physical existence. This seeing is through the eyes of money, within and as the plane of and as money, and so will deliberately not see and realize their direct responsibility to the manifested consequence their flying high and accumulation of money as the positive energy experience directly manifest to this earth and physical existence and the lives of beings, manifestations, and parts within and as this physical existence. This deliberate not seeing in and as equality and oneness with the physical body and this physical existence, because of the deliberate action and nature of fear that drive them and the constant and continuous friction and conflict as negative energy experience that manifest in the unconscious and subconscious, consuming physicality and transforming it into money within and as deliberate blame, as spite, excuse, and justification, to protect and defend their survival as possession of and as the more of money, where the elites flying high within and as the world system of money as accumulation of positive energy experience of and from and as money, living in quantum time, experience with and as money, separate them completely from the space and time consequences within and as this physical existence, comfortably situated within the first class and pilot seat of and as money. They do not see, realize, and understand what is happening behind them and below them on Earth and within this physical existence, simply because of the separation between quantum time money experience and the physical consequence manifested in space and time. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how, from the beginning to the evolution of my mind consciousness system and the manifestation of the world system of money, I had accepted and allowed myself to become possessed by energy as my possession, with the substance of the energy consisting of and existing as fear, and that from my negative, neutral, and positive energy awareness separated me further into and as the fear experience, where my layers and continued existence of me as energy, of and as the negative, neutral, and positive energy awareness had been automated through, within, and as the fear experience awareness, where this very fear experience awareness of and as me as energy automated my existence as me through and as the constant and continuous nature and action of deliberate blame as spite, excuse, and justification, as protecting and defending my survival as possession of and as energy awareness within and as the negative, neutral, and positive. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how, from the beginning, the fear experience of and as energy, as the fear of loss of, and as my energy awareness definition as the negative, neutral, and positive energy experience evolved into and as the manifestation of consciousness of within and as the mind consciousness system, where consciousness exists as the conscious and awareness of and as energy itself. Energy now manifests as my entire mind consciousness system, where consciousness as the conscious and awareness of energy as the mind manifests, within and as the nature and beingness of and as consciousness existing as sphere experience. Consciousness as sphere experience awareness regulate and control the mechanics and processes and functionings of the unconscious, negative energy awareness, subconscious, neutral energy awareness, and conscious mind, positive energy awareness, to always ensure that physicality is transformed into energy, to accumulate into and as the more of energy, to so protect and defend the survival and possession of and as energy through and as nature and action of blame, as spite, excuse, and justification, as a deliberate manipulation, abuse, and misuse of substance and life, excusing life authority for energy authority to exist, as consuming substance to transform into energy, justified as defying life and deifying energy, through and as deliberate friction and conflict, spite, for the survival and rewarding of me as energy and positive energy experience awareness. In this, I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand that what had automated my existence as energy within the unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind as the mind consciousness system has been consciousness, existing in and as the fear experience that will always, in all ways, ensure and secure its energy survival and possession through controlling the mechanics and processes and functionings of the unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind. That I had separated me into and as the hierarchical existence of and as energy itself, with the consciousness as fear experience, as the authority of, within and as the layers of separation of me as the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious energy awarenesses, where consciousness authority will regulate, control, and direct the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious to ensure the entirety of itself as energy continue existing and surviving as accumulating energy. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand that what had taken over the controls of and as my entire mind consciousness system plane into and as manifesting my existence as the mind on autopilot is and has been consciousness that had established itself as the energy authority of and as the entire mind consciousness system to ensure and secure its survival and possession of and as energy, where all my mechanics and processes and functionings of the unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind is and has become automated with no control or directive principle or decision in and as any of my processes, functionings, and mechanics of and as me entire mind consciousness system, as I had abdicated my responsibility and directive principle and choice entirely and completely to energy as consciousness within and as the entire mind consciousness system, existing constantly and continuously in and as fear within and as the nature and action of blame, as spite, excuse, and justification, as a deliberate manipulation, abuse, and misuse of substance and life, excusing life authority for energy authority to exist, as consuming substance to transform into energy, justified as defying life and deifying energy, through and as deliberate friction and conflict, spite, for the survival, rewarding of me as energy and positive energy experience awareness. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand that as consciousness, as the awareness and conscious of energy within and as fear experience that only exists to survive through possession of and as energy within and as blame, as spite, excuse, and justification, that in and as the physical body that I now exist within as consciousness through and as the mind consciousness system, I had become possessed by my own possession as energy, as consciousness, as the mind consciousness system. And so, all I will see through the eyes of the physical is through the eyes of consciousness as energy, within and as my mind consciousness system, in and as the physical body, where I now exist only in the possession of and as consciousness, furthermore separated from my conscious mind to the subconscious mind and the unconscious mind, as consciousness as me took possession of and automated all the mechanics and processes and functionings of the unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand why and how everything of my entire mind consciousness system had become automated, thoughts emerging automatically, internal conversations and backchat emerging automatically, behaviors, mannerisms, and patterns manifesting automatically, with no actual awareness and directive principle and control as decision of what emerge and manifest within me, as me and within and as my physical body, as consciousness, as the awareness and conscious and energy authority had taken absolute control and directive principle and authority over and of my entire mind consciousness system, and will regulate and control and direct the entire mind consciousness system to only do one thing: protect and defend its survival and possession of and as energy, as driven and motivated and instigated by and as fear within and as the nature and action of blame, as spite, excuse, and justification, as a deliberate manipulation, abuse, and misuse of substance and life, excusing life authority for energy authority to exist, as consuming substance to transform into energy, justified as defining life and deifying energy, through and as deliberate friction and conflict, spite, for the survival and rewarding of me as energy and positive energy experience awareness, and will exist within and as fear, as ensuring securing its survival and possession of and as energy, no matter what. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how, in and as this absolute fear experience, possession, and manifestation of and as consciousness as energy, regulating, controlling my entire mind consciousness system as me, I had completely internalized my self-existence to only me, within and as the plane of and as myself, and will see, approach, and live in my physical body and this physical existence, within and as deliberate blame, as spite, excuse, and justification, driven and motivated by constant, continuous fear as consciousness, to protect and defend only my survival and possession of and as energy, and so always fly high above my mind, the physical body, and this physical existence as consciousness, in absolute separation from and of all as me. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand that as consciousness, due to the extent of my separation from my conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind and physical body, I had entirely, completely abdicated all responsibility, directive principle, will, choice to, and as consciousness as me, that automated my existence as energy, as the mind consciousness system for me, and so walk through my life in this world and reality with no responsibility, directive principle, will, or choice, as I had been completely automated by, through, and as consciousness as energy authority. And so will have no responsibility, directive principle, will, or choice in and as my physical body and this physical existence, due to the extent of my accepted and allowed separation into and as consciousness, driving the entirety of me into and as autopilot. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand the soul of fear is consciousness manifest, consciousness and fear that has ensouled energy as the conscious and awareness of and as energy as my entire mind consciousness system manifest, and then that the nature of my soul as fear, as consciousness manifest, within and as the mind consciousness system, manifest my constant and continuous nature and action of and as blame, as spite, excuse, and justification that exist only in the self-interest of protecting and defending my survival as possession of and as energy, with absolute abdication of control, directive principle, will, and choice within myself, my physical body, and this physical existence, as I had given all authority of control, directive principle, will, and choice to and as the energy authority of and as consciousness within and as the mind consciousness system. In the next post, we'll continue with the equal and one relationship of the world system of money and the soul of fear as the consciousness of and as the world system of money as money itself, and how money authority exists as the consciousness and soul of fear of and as the world system of money that had taken complete control, directive principle, will, and choice over and of all within and as this physical existence. And within this, the consequence of energy authority as consciousness as the soul of fear within the mind and the world system, and how we have accepted and allowed ourselves to manifest ourselves in this existence through consequence, instead of actual creation as creators, within and as equality and oneness, as life and life authority. I commit myself to, through writing, self-forgiveness, and self-corrective application, assist and support me to stop the autopilot existence of me as consciousness, within and as the mind consciousness system, and reestablish my directive principle, will, and decision with and as life authority as the physical and the physical existence in and as equality and oneness. In this, I commit myself to walk this process through walking from my conscious to the subconscious and the unconscious mind, point by point, as my process of stopping the automated and autopilot existence of me as consciousness, and taking directive principle over and of the mechanics, processes, and functionings of and as my mind consciousness system, as the process of walking me out of energy authority as consciousness, into and as life authority as the physical, as the process of walking me out of fear, into and as actual, equal, and one living in responsibility of me within myself. I commit myself to, through writing, self-forgiveness, and self-corrective application, assist and support me to change my existing from energy authority as consciousness that has become my automated and autopilot existence of directive principle, will, and choice, and stand with and as the directive principle, will, and choice and decision of and as life and life authority that will only accept and allow what is and will be best for all in and as equality and oneness. Where in this, I further commit myself to, in and as my process of writing self-forgiveness and self-corrective application as the process I walk point by point of and as my mind consciousness system, to walk myself through and from my separation layers as consciousness to the conscious, the subconscious, and unconscious, where as I walk each point and layer, I assert my standing of taking responsibility for me as energy consciousness and the mind consciousness system that had manifested because of my accepted and allowed separation from and of it. And so, for me to stop the autopilot and automatic existence of me as consciousness and the mind, I first have to stand equal to and one with it, which I do through writing self-forgiveness to get to know me as consciousness and the mind that I had separated me from and of. And in this simultaneously getting to know of me as consciousness and the mind through writing and self-forgiveness, I stand within and as the starting point of life authority and align me and my living from energy to actual physical living as living words through self-corrective statements and self-corrective practical living as my process of landing me from quantum time energy to physical space-time living. I commit myself to, as I walk my process of getting to know me as consciousness and the mind consciousness system that had become my automated and autopilot existence of and as possession and survival within and as fear, through my process of walking, writing, self-forgiveness, and self-corrective application, of taking responsibility for my accepted and allowed separation, where I had abdicated my directive principle, will, and choice, to equally as one, walk the world system of money as me, that I had separated me from, get to know how it works and functions and operates as it exists now, and simultaneously stand within and as the starting point of and as the life authority, and realign the world system of money to a system that will ensure that all equally as one in this existence has an equal and one opportunity and certainty of life and living in and as equality and oneness with the physical and this physical existence as a whole.